Hello and welcome, Andy here, Trading the Right Way, and we're going to be looking at a new version of DJI Studio. Current version is 1.130, so if you've got any other versions, there's a new version out. We're going to have a little look at it. There is unusually, we don't normally get this, but there are some advice about what's changed. So let's have a look at that first, and then we'll go into the actual application itself and see what's different. So the release notes are very clear. They've got a added voice highlight marking, which identifies audio highlights and let you locate edit points with one click. They've added some support for DaVinci Resolve, so you can export your video. When used with the DJI Reframe plugin, you can freely reframe your footage in DaVinci. That's pretty good. That's a good improvement. Finally. Obviously, for those people that don't like DJI Studio itself, if you use DaVinci, then hey presto, you've now got that option. The added portrait beautification allows you to refine portraits even in panoramic footage. The panorama preview screen now supports quickly adding keyframes via right click, making panoramic framing more efficient. Now added support for direct dragging and dropping folders, which will make importing easier. That's a good one, I like that. Added grid reference lines in the preview area, so like you can have your markers so you know where you are. They've added that, and then overall user experience has been optimized, allegedly. Right, let's see if it will install, because sometimes it doesn't work, and then you've got to do it manually. So just beware that. But this is the latest version, 1.1.30. We'll wait for that to go. And then we'll open up a new project and have a look and see if there's anything noticeably different, which I doubt, but because it's all very external. And I don't use DaVinci Resolve, so I'm not going to be able to test that. If you want to test it, let me know. Right, let's install. That's usually when it happens now, is when it's going to go through and get stuck on the installer. Install it, yes. There we go. Looks like it's working. Going through. Yeah, this would have been when it would have failed. On this bit. So we'll just wait for that to load. They still haven't changed it from Chinese. So obviously another job we need to do. I don't even know if they will. They might not. So it has been a little while since we've had an update. What are we in now? We're in June. I think it was about February last update. Alright, here we go. So there will be some people saying, well, it's not very good anyway. It's like a cheap and nasty product. But to be fair, it's quite good. I use it myself. And it's only part of my process. I obviously reframe, export out, And I'll use CapCut. So if they ever did a CapCut add-in, that would be really good. If that loads, there we go. So we're now loaded out. So we're currently on 1.130, otherwise known as 23452. So that is the current version. Let's create a new project. So we have voice type tagging. Automatically passes voice info in footage, recognizes laughter, shouting, speaking, and noise to mark it on audio. So that's a new feature that they've added. We will find out about that in a moment. First of all, you need to change the name of it, which you can't do before you start, which is very annoying, but you need to add that in, that you can name your project. Right, so this one is going to be Shepton. That's that. We're going to add in, let's add in my folder, video editing, there we are, this one here, Shepton. Let's open that. Is it going to let me drag it in? I don't know, no idea. Let's do that, drag it over there. If we can drag that, put that in there, yes you can. So there you go. Good. Does it close this automatically? I don't know. No. Right, okay. So it's loading the files. That's a pretty good. That's probably a time-saving facility. Obviously, I'm not going to do all of those today. Abraham with one of them. This one in. What we got? Files detected on an external device. No, they're not. They're on my hard drive. That's rubbish. Right. That is that the first one? Yeah. First video. Okay, let's put this in. What we'll do, let's go through the menu, shall we, before we get very carried away. So a little look what we got. So the music menu, still there. Filters, have they added any filters? Yeah, the same number I think. Added any more? Probably a little bit more they've added. Got some food ones there. Oh yeah, there's a few more there. Filters. Effects. What effects we got? Stop motion. Interesting. One's interesting, yeah, I like that. Could see myself using that. This one. Gimmick. Both. Yeah, you could do that for a time shift. Go into black. Yeah. Like that. You do a mirror. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. 9 photos. 4 images. Interesting. To play around with that, because you can do maybe 4 tracks on that. I don't know. Some black and white film. Interesting. Film frame. Film frame. That one's good. I like that. Yeah, could be. Interesting. Rolling film. Making me go sick though. That one. video, gimmick maybe, movie. Okay, that's interesting. Could be useful. Movie 2. Oh, you use that one and that one. Pictures. Needs a little bit of work, doesn't it? There's some interesting ones there. Not too bad. Iris out. We have that one. Yes, I can see myself possibly using that one. Yeah. Zoom out. I could use that one. Let's get that one. How about zoom in? Fade in. Fade in. Fade in. Ooh. Yeah, it's all blurry. I don't understand that one. All right. Lines. Okay. I could see myself using that, possibly. Or see stop motion. So it doesn't do anything by the look of it. A 10-second effect. Right, let's have a look. So next one, camera. Some camera things that we showed you last time. Some of these are quite interesting. I can see myself using that. Yeah, I could. In fact, I could probably use it immediately. Loads of those. Forward rotation, playing, in and out. Yep. Out and in. Okay, yeah, I can find that useful. Hand left. Yeah, okay. Saves a little bit of time doing keyframes. Pull and rotate. Pull. Turn. Yeah. Nice. Spin round. I can see that. I can. Yeah, that would be an interesting transition type effect. So there's a few more. Transitions themselves, we're still on the old basic, so we haven't got any clips for that, so I can't run that. Text, still default text, but then you can change the text. And remember, if you're doing a 360 video, then text does not come out on the 360. This is for flat form, so not much good. I wouldn't put text on my video anyway. I would leave it for CapCut. So that is the menus. And then over on the right side we have some, I don't think there's anything different. I think you can turn off the horizon leveling. Why you would do that, I don't know. But you got the usual manual framing, which again is not set for de-warp, because I set mine for de-warp automatically. All of the angles and things like that you can change. And again, you can't change these as default. You have to have whichever one is selected. You have to go and change it yourself. So images, we have. I don't think there's anything different there. Audio. Now this, just the volume still. Interesting. We'll come on to that in a minute because I'm going to use the new effect. Adjust for the colour. I don't think there's anything new there. They've got an underwater, if you're using that. Beauty. Is that one new? I mean, that's probably new. So, default, skin smoothness, face, makeup. Okay. And then right on the end, where you probably need it at the beginning, that's a little bit annoying. You should move that down the other end. That speed, so you can still do your 2x whatever. Variable speed, okay, yeah, that's like the old slow, fast, slow. But an easy way of doing it, you haven't got the keyframe. I can see that would be quite useful. Flash in, flash out. The only thing I would say is they need to move the speed. I think they need that down here near the video, so video, image, or maybe put it after audio speed, and then colour. Because I would use the speed thing probably a little bit more than I would the colour. So that's the inspector panel. I don't think there's anything else that we can look at because the rest of it is to do with DaVinci Resolve and things like that. But one thing we can look at that we do have is this option here. So if we enable that, I'm going to go away and try and find the various types. There we go. So we now have this. Zoom in. It's obviously made the speech thing. You can't do anything with that. You can't right click. And there's nothing been added, I don't think. Audio. No, there's nothing added to the audio. Right, I am currently, it was saying here, speech. It's saying that this is all speech. So it's highlighted in grey, all the areas of speech. So I presume it would be helpful that if you're looking for speech. Okay, so now I've got a gap over here. And then there's a gap. And then speech. No, there's any other way. Yeah. So it's useful probably if you were lining up several clips maybe. But I don't think that we have any sort of ability. Mind you, we can only have one track anyway with the audio. So audio, video, one track. You can drag audio down to the other track. So for example, we take a music track down, we can drag it down to the music track. But that is all you can do. You can't separate at the moment. It's all the same thing that we have on the menu bar. So the split, delete left, delete right, keyframe, and intelligent tracking. So that is everything we had before on the basics. There's nothing else that I can see that is new. Some useful things I think have been added. and a few visual treats. But apart from that, not really very much. Right, so there we go. That's just a quick rundown. If you haven't got it yet, then it should appear when you load the application up. It should prompt you to upgrade, but it's currently 1.130. That's it from me. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Hey there. Thanks for watching that video. And YouTube seems to think that you are going to like that one. So please do watch that. And also, if you haven't done it already, subscribe. See you next time.